Well, let's talk Kizer. Wow. Check out the end of the box here. Mystic, Mr. Munko. 3 3/4 inch blade, titanium micarta. And what does that say for blade steel? Rex45. Check this out. Of course, he did the comedy. He's done several different knives for Kizer, designs and stuff. And he's like this really good graphics designer guy. So he's not a knife maker, okay? He got interested in knives. And then I've been back and forth talking to him for, I don't know, 3 years or so. Young guy, etc., etc. He was at Blade in Atlanta, you know. And he said, check out the Mystic. And wow. So I've been waiting for this to come around, and it's out, and it's, whew, she's a good size knife. Hold on, let's take a measure of it. Mystic, so it's like the, you know, Mystic Seaport in Connecticut, this and that. 3 3/4 inch blades, so they ain't messing with you. I mean, this is 96 millimeter length blade and 8 3/4 overall length at 22.2 centimeters. Okay, so this is a good size knife, although it doesn't feel all that fat in the hand, and it's not. Look at 11.9.47, same as the PM2, paramilitary 2. And that's always nice, slender in the pocket. So that's what this is, probably 3 millimeter. Yeah, 0.11, 3 millimeter, 2.8, 3 millimeter blade stock of Rex45, CPM-Rex45. So I'm going to hold on to this for testing purposes, okay? And maybe for other purposes too, but I'd like to get this stabbed for Rockwell and then have a confirmed PMI for elementals. And of course, just remember, don't throw this out in the salt water, my friends, because it ain't no stainless. This ain't no H1 or LC200N, okay? This will rust on you. And got a nice stone washy surface would probably help a little bit for corrosion protection, but you know, put some, you know, wipe some stuff on it to help out, keep it from, especially if you live in a very moist climate like I do. Because I was stupid enough to put my, where is that? This is not stainless either. This is called Maximet. And yeah, I had this sitting out on my lanai, which is just screened in. And so it's nice and humid. And all of a sudden I saw, holy crap. So yeah, I put some protectorant on that. I'm going to work on that, see if I can get that off of there. But so don't do that. Lesson to self. Moving from Arizona, where it's an arid climate, it's like nothing going to happen. But now, but Rex45, that's interesting. I can't remember the last, Rex45 of the, you know, of a Spyderco knife, but I can't think of any other brand I've had with Rex45 on it, so that's cool. So Rockwell would be kind of interesting. Blade shape. It is intriguing, isn't it? You know? Wow. And this is kind of interesting how we're doing this, you know? So in a way, I mean, you know, the kukri knives, of course, are curved, and it's for leverage and maybe even more cutting efficiency. Whether that lends this to that or not, I don't know. Let me grab a piece of paper and kind of get an idea, okay, of what I think the sharpness level is. Well, yeah. First you got to touch the paper. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's got a good factory edge. Not scary sharp, but I'll tell you what, do not tempt the blade, okay? So this is one of those things you really want to ride right up here when you cut that loose. See, you got that little choil in there, so you're not going to cut yourself. But if you get too cavalier and you back up like this, that may not be a good idea. So, and let that swing around, because it is, let me show you. I mean, you don't have to shake the blade down. It just drops. It's centered, no blade play, no lock rock. It's a frame lock or bolster lock, if that's what you'd like to call it. 30% lockup. Easy to disengage because there's enough of a height differential there. Super easy. Now, the detent is not real strong on this. And of course, one of the reasons is, and you've seen me do everything except what it was designed to do, which is front flip. I personally, I could have skipped this. The front flipper, I could have skipped it, and I think of course, the design flow would be better because you're not putting a front flipper out here. There's a lot of people that just want that extra opening thing for fidget factor, etc. I don't find it especially efficient necessarily any more than just kicking it or, the thumb stud, because this really kicks open easily. So I'm kind of a fuddy-duddy and a little bit more traditional, so maybe I'm just not up with the times, but some people are starting to say kind of over the front flipper phase. And so here's one thing. I mean, you kind of got to get your thumb on this flat spot, and you're using that leverage against that part of the flipper, kicking it open, because here's the thing. If you get on top of here, you might just ride off and not really get it open. You know what I'm saying? So you really want to get in this flat spot so you're pushing against this flipper tab. And the other thing is that when you start approaching the size of this knife, I mean, if you want to have a front flipper knife, then really I think, and this is not a front flipper, but I'm just saying, a smaller, and this is an 8-inch overall knife, this Kados, right, from Civivi, but, and the slender blades with the little flipper, it's easier to kind of get purchase on them. This one, when it's this big, I mean, you're getting your thumb way out there, a little bit more precarious on this, and you may throw it out of your hand. Now, like I said, the detent is light enough on this, like that, and I think that's the intention there, is to make it light enough to where it is so easy to front flip, or it makes it easier to front flip. But I'll catch myself all the time, middle finger flicking it. I really love to do that, and so that's my thing. Doing this over and over, nah. Thumb flick is super, super easy as well. So, but, Paul, I think he nailed this design really well. It's nice. It's interesting that he did this. And where's his logo? Right here on the blade. Okay. So, super nice guy, very talented, a musician, keyboards, guitar, writes music, sings. Jeez, I don't know. He was at the Kizer party thing at Atlanta Blade doing karaoke and stuff like that. And I didn't make it to that, and I wished I would have. So if I get the opportunity again, I will. Thumb ramp here with jimping. Ambidextrous thumb studs. Can they be removed? I don't know. It looks like they can be. Then I don't want to have a hole in the blade, so no, I don't want to do that. Another thought. Okay, here's micarta. Okay. Couple of things. Number one, micarta. This would be nice if I could get some fat carbon like Lava Flow or, whatever, Blizzard, Winter Blizzard, whatever that is, or Nebula, that kind of thing, to put in here. I think it'd be stunning then. And maybe Kizer's allowing themselves some space to maybe do this on some individual exclusives for dealers. That would be interesting. That would be, because they're doing a lot of fat carbon stuff, so that would make sense. And this would be really interesting for them to do. Another thing, if you look at, and I'll give you the link to Kizer knives, right? And check this out. $169. I mean, how many knives are probably OEM'd by Best Tech or somebody like that that are no better quality than Kizer, if as good? I mean, I'd call them pretty much an even draw. And those things can be $350 to $400, right? Moku tie kit included is $500. So, I mean, $169, okay? And then if you could catch that on White Mountain at the same price and get 10% off, you're in the what? You know, you got another $17 off. You're almost down to the high 140s, low 150s delivered. I mean, that just seems pretty damn good to me. So I'm kind of surprised, but they did that also with the Militaw, okay? And this is that Jonathan Styles knife, right? And check this out. Of course, micarta as well, which would be interesting later to see this in a fat carbon as well. But have you guys checked out the Militaw? Wow. This is, you know, those two knives coming out pretty much at the same time of the year. These may be the two best offerings for 2023 so far. Can't count out what they're going to do between now and the end of 23, but I think they hit it really well with the Mystic and the Militaw. So they're in the M's. Let's see where they go now. But jimping, kind of thumb ramp. This is pretty like a Bowie type style blade and flat grind. Nice satin setup. Super drop shutty. But don't be too cavalier with this. You better get up on here because, you know, I just about took myself out with this swinging back here. Be careful with that because it does drop, and so does the Militaw. The Militaws are real, and I'll do a separate video on that, but yeah, it'll do that. So, but, whew, inexpensive, I think. Ergos, well, you haven't got a whole lot of consideration here. It doesn't get really mixed and moshed too much here. You get your fingers right in there. Okay, yeah, you're good. I mean, this is not a problem. You've got a milled pocket clip, and you can see right here there's no hardware showing, so it's obviously, and you can see the screw in there coming in from the back. Okay, so looking at these inserts, and we're going to take this apart here in just a minute. Right here, you should be able to pop these out, and that way, if you wanted to, you could anodize this like a bronze color or whatever, and maybe in the future, get some fat carbon inserts, because I would prefer them to this, and I'm not big on the kind of faded micarta look of the scales. So I'd say that's the biggest part that if there is a disappointment area, is that I'm not really into that kind of look. And a lot of guys do like that. I mean, they think that's the charm of the micarta. So, okay, so it's good there. But overall, wow, it's a cool looking knife. And you know what? I don't think I threw it on the scale. So let's do that. 126 grams. So, I mean, for a big old dog, 4.4 ounces, you know, totally easily carryable, slender enough as well. Interesting blade steel choice. Some people may not be all that happy with that because, I mean, you get 20 CV and you got about 20% chromium, but this is not going to be as protective, but it could be more edge retentive or that kind of thing. So that'll be interesting to have evaluated. And front flip. And front flip. Okay, yeah, it's doable. It's doable. It's not that difficult. But, man, I love finger flicking on this thing. So let's see what we got. Well, we ain't going to get in from the front. It kind of got a little micarta surround there, isn't it? Okay, let's get in. And this is not spinning, so it's probably got a captured pivot on it. And there's this. Check that surround out. Yeah, it is like a little micarta surround. Interesting, they would do it like that. And what do we got here? No, that's going to be a number 6. Okay, on the body screw. So I would have preferred a number 8, but then there ain't much for hardware on here. And there you go. And I bounced you. Where'd I bounce you out to? Oh, right there. Okay. And here it is. Okay, hardened steel insert, ceramic detent ball, and of course, because you got titanium, so you got, you know, a steel washer on there as well. And then here's your little, for your lanyard to go through that just came out of here at the back end, and your, ooh, that's a magnet. Okay, forget that noise. Okay, so here's, oh, and I just dumped off the backspacer, didn't I? Threw that somewhere. And here we go. Here's your ceramic bearings. Okay. And here's this. So, oh yeah, you got it captured because you got squared off here. Which, does it capture it back here? Let me see. Up. Captures it up front. Right here, so it's squared off, and then here's your washer. So damn thing's just falling apart in my hand, which makes it nice, easy to take apart. And then here's these. So yeah, it looks like you can just take these inserts right off. Boom, boom, number 6s, and they gone. So I don't think there's any adhesive there. And let me see if I can catch this. Well, let's try it from here and see if I can pop this. Okay, like this. Okay, drop that and drop this. And come on. Okay, just like that. Wow, okay. Yep, you can take them out. So you could strip it to where you could do ano or replace scales, that kind of thing. So who knows what might be coming down the pike on that. That might be interesting. Well, there's your disassembly. And yes. And it's still super guillotine-ish. But it's a good looking design. All right, Mr. Munko. Crazy knife, good size knife. Rex45, go figure. And we love them knives. Check out the Love Them Knives LTK website, just lovethemknives.com for pre-owned knives. And stay sharp.